All right, here we are again with another reading. I have my clay dice that I made. They glow in the dark. This light part here glows in the dark. And so I've got all 13 signs on here with the Fucus and Scorpio on the same side here. And we're going to roll a die and see who goes next. So last time we did Aries, which is this die, and we're going to roll this die. And we've got Sagittarius, another fire sign. Okay. And last reading, I did the Oracle card first. So we're going to do that first. This is the Lantern Oracle by Angelina Mirabito. And this deck, is not all in one order. Wait, I must have flipped it. I must have flipped. I've got to be careful with that. Because usually I read reversals, so I do a thing where I can put them in reverse. And I've got to just be careful when I am using a deck that I don't read reversals in. Some decks I don't read reversals. Actually, some tarot decks I do not. And it is wonderful to be back. I did an Aries reading this morning before I went to work. I'm back from work. Now we're doing the Sagittarius reading. And another person bought me a tea, which I'm so eternally grateful for. I don't know if I should say their names out loud on video. I don't know if they want to be recognized like that, but maybe they do. Because otherwise, why would they put themselves out there? You know. So because I think actually if you want to, you can go in like incognito mode or make a tea donation anonymously. So so I'm just gonna go out and say it. So Hannah SQ bought me a tea, and she's actually a tarot reader as well. And she gave me some nice words of encouragement about reading and taking breaks and whatnot. Also, the other person that bought me a tea is Laura. And then we have Sorcha McCary, who bought, I think, like 3 teas. And Sorcha McCary is the Ophiucan who sort of clicked me back into making videos. I talked about this a little bit in my chat, but I was I always wanted to come back. I knew I eventually was going to come back, but there was just that little bit of something that was keeping me from actually doing it. When you want to do something, you think about doing it, I'm going to do it, but then you don't actually do it. You don't make the time. And that's kind of where I was. I was in that liminal space of just of wishing, wanting, thinking, and not actually doing. And so Sorcha is actually the one who pushed me, who gave me that gentle nudge over the edge. So thank you, Sorcha, and thank you to Laura, and thank you to Hannah as well. Thank you guys so much for supporting me in the Buy Me a Tea app. I really appreciate it. And thank you to all of my viewers, subscriber or not. Thank you for watching the videos and, being part of the community and commenting. I think it's amazing. So I'm going to go ahead and do the Sagittarius reading, and then I'm going to prepare for the new moon reading. And I should have that up, I would say tomorrow. The new moon is on the 4th. So, all right, Sagittarius, let us draw your oracle card and see what's going on. So we have 10, assistance with access. It is necessary to ask for and accept help in order to receive it. Oh, I know. A lot of us, especially moms, women in general, I think, have that problem is asking for help. And not even just to one gender, right? Men have a hard time asking for help too. We're such an individualistic society that I guess we feel like less of a person less responsible, less than if we have to ask for help. And and in my experience, I always feel I'm putting someone out. I don't want to ask for someone's help because I don't want them to be without. I don't want them to go without. Oh, I need to activate this. Um, so this is my caracal here representing air, and in its dormant sleeping state, it's closed with the opening facing down. When it is opening facing up, that is its active state, allowing air to flow through it. Um, so yes, so asking for help I think is just hard for many people, pretty much everyone, and it might be a cultural thing, and it's definitely not just for a certain gender. We all, I think, have a hard time. So let's read what this card means. Maidenhood is a time of limited autonomy. It is the building stage of underdeveloped mental, physical, and emotional capacities. It is also a period in which there is the least distortion clouding our connection to spirit. Conversely, the older we get, the more autonomy we have and the more estranged we are from our spirit self. Throughout life, we require the assistance of others, circumstances, and the world in order to grow. Whether or not we like it, acknowledge it, or accept it, a time will come when we cannot ignore that we can neither do everything alone nor have everything done for us. We must learn the middle way of active and receptive living with and amongst others in the world. And I can tell you from experience, my mother-in-law was always a doer, doer, doer. And my father-in-law kind of just, was along for the ride. And now that she is older and less mobile and less able to do things on her own, she needs help. But my father-in-law has never been in that role of helping. And so when she's asked, he's not, he doesn't do so willingly, he does so begrudgingly. And I know that's a source of frustration, and I don't know how to fix that or how even to approach that, because he's been that way his entire life. And he may have come into the relationship thinking that he didn't need to do anything, she was going to do everything for him. So in that type of situation, the best thing I can recommend, and what I recommend to her, is communication. Talk to him, say, hey, I need help with this situation. I didn't need help 30 years ago, but here we are now, and I'm a retired nurse, and I have, this ailment and that ailment, and I need you. Um, I don't, I don't know if she's ever expressed it to him. I'm sure she has. She's very vocal. She's a very chatty woman. Love her to death. But sometimes when we are so used to not asking others for help, not only is it difficult for us to ask for the help, but it's maybe difficult for the person you are asking to fall in line to become a helping role, because they're not used to it. The maiden holds a key that illuminates her surroundings. So she has a big key in her hand. She is pointing the key towards her chest, where she believes the lock to be. However, her conscious attention and desire are not enough to find the keyhole and unlock her way into all that is within. The maiden requires assistance to discover the full spectrum of who she is. This is the same for every one of us. Like the maiden, we all hold the key to ourselves and simultaneously remain in need of an interdependent relationship with other people, places, and situations to assist us in assessing the full terrain of our spirit self. The maiden supports you through a time of asking for help and accepting it from those who are genuinely pure of source, pure source love and light. May you allow yourself the time to seek out the knowledge and to seek I'm sorry, let me start the sentence again. May you allow yourself the time to seek out those knowledgeable and willing to assist you in learning how to access and embody your full power and purpose. Throughout your journey of self-discovery, remember that a practiced discernment remember to practice discernment and trust your intuition on whether someone, a situation, a thing, or place is safe and right for you now. Always receive with gratitude and love that which is wholeheartedly and transparently given. The Maiden's message: attention is your key to everywhere and anything. Spirit self is accessed through the experience of being in harmonious communion with the world, situation, and others. Your external reality is both the reflection of and the aperture into your inner portal. To know who you are is to experience yourself in relations to what it seems you are not. So, what I get from that, and it took me the entire passage to really get an understanding of what that card meant. But what I get from this is to really know yourself and know who you are and know what your limit is and when it's time for you to ask for help, right? And then not only that, not only do you have to know yourself, but you have to know or get in the practice of knowing and discerning and using your intuition to read others. Are those people going to be receptive of your help? Are they going to give it to you lovingly and wholeheartedly? Or are they going to give it to you begrudgingly and with an animosity? Sometimes I ask my children for help and they're so not wanting to stop scrolling on their phones or whatever it is that they're doing that they don't really want to help me. And and so I sometimes will just not even ask them for help, but other times, I'll have to get after them and let them know that I need their help and what I'm doing is benefiting them and the household and whatnot. So part of asking for help is knowing yourself, but also knowing others, knowing the person to ask, knowing the person who is knowledgeable and capable enough to help you. Okay, so let's see what the tarot has in relation to this number 10 card, Assistance with Access. And the two tarot decks I'm using is Baroque Tarot by Lamucci and Anatorian's Tarot of the Abyss. All right, we will do our 3 cards. So this is how I get my reversals. I pull it over this way, and now these were upright, and now they're all upside down. This deck shuffles like a dream. And this deck was actually a Kickstarter. I believe it's available now. Lamucci has several decks that they've put out, and I believe this one is still available. There's a deck that I also bought as an add-on with the Kickstarter. What is it called? It has these cool neon colors. First, I didn't like it. I thought it was too cartoony for me, but it reads really well. It has 2 extra cards in it. I wish I could remember what it's called. Yes, I do like to read with that. It's beautiful in color and it has good insight. All right, Sagittarius, see what we got for you. So we've got the Moon in reverse. We've got the Ace of Swords in reverse. And then we've got the Six of Pentacles. So Moon, Air, and Earth we have here. Okay, I'm going to pause really quickly and get my water. All right, I'm back. And I got my little kitty right here. Oh. Just gonna try. See? Hello, little baby. He likes to get on my windowsill and... This is my sepia kitty. Look at... She's not gonna... Over there, babe. Alright, so we've got the Moon in reverse, the Ace of Swords in reverse, Six of Pentacles. I get a definite feeling of hiding here. The Moon is all about things unseen, kind of things in the shadow, things that are deep down in the depth. And it being this card for me being in reverse next to this Ace of Swords, I feel that there is definite really putting things deep into the abyss and not really paying attention to it, or not wanting to give it the attention that it needs, or just really wanting to ignore it, that it's not even there. Six of Pentacles. Now, this is a card of philanthropy, kind of evening things out, sharing. And so the feeling, the feeling that I'm getting here is perhaps, and also in relation to our assistance with access, is to open up a bit, to start to, like, you're too heavy, hiding what it is that you don't want people to see, what it is you're keeping in the depths. And there needs to be more of an equilibrium. You've got to bring something out of the depths and bring it up, um, have it ascend so that it's more equal up on the top. It's not so bottom heavy. We need to bring it to the top. So I wonder what it is that, oh, she just bit my foot. Oh my God. Kitty, oh my goodness. She is the rambunctious one. Roxy wants to play, but her brother is asleep. Now she's playing with my feet. Ow. Goodness. Roxy, stop it. This is very unprofessional. Okay, I'm gonna sit crisscross applesauce. Now what are you gonna do, kitty? Okay, so that's where I was. Page of Swords, Knight of Wands. Interesting. Okay. So I have some ice water down here, and I usually have tea, but it's so darn hot outside. I am in Texas, South Texas, Houston to be exact, and the heat here, though it's not as bad as it was last year, this year it's a lot cooler. However, it's still hot. I mean, hot is hot. Leaving now. Okay. All right, Sagittarius. I'm so sorry for all of these interruptions. If I was a better YouTuber, I would probably edit it all out, but I'm not that good yet. Bear with me. Roxy. Okay. She started playing with, I'm kicking her out. All right, she was removed. I took her to my son's room. That's actually his cat. Okay, let's go back. Two of Wands in reverse. So we have the Fool in reverse, Two of Wands in reverse, Ace of Wands in reverse, Two of Cups in reverse, the World upright, Five of Cups in reverse, the Moon again in reverse in the same column, Six of Wands in reverse, and Ace of Cups. Okay, so what is standing out to me is all these reversals. We have three cards that are upright, and they are all here. On top of that, we have the Moon twice and in reverse over here in this column. So there is definite call to understanding some things that are really deeply, deeply hidden. Maybe some things that you don't even understand yourself. And which is something that this card is talking about, knowing who you are, understanding what it is that you need. And so there is possibly some sort of block that is, I don't know if it's a willing block, something that you've put there for some kind of reason. I don't see anything that would represent like some trauma, but that doesn't need to be represented to have something that is really pushed down deep within ourselves. It is something that we put down there for a reason, and we don't really want to revisit it for a reason, and that's why it's there. But the thing is when we keep things locked up, they fester. They start to turn into something that they start to manifest in a way that, because they need to be expressed, they're so tired of being locked up, and it's time for them to come out and into their full expression. And the thing is when they come out into their full expressions, because they've been locked up so long, they kind of have this primitive um personality, if you would like to say, like this beast here, the crayfish that's always hidden down at the bottom in the depths. um Art is so pretty. The crayfish that's always comes up from the bottom, and it's a beast in a way, and it's a very primitive beast, and because it's down there for so long, it changes into something that's no longer recognizable, and it doesn't really know how to act in a civilized way. It's feral, if you will. So so what I'm seeing here in relation to this is that you have the key to unlock this. You have the key to bring this out. You have the key to really work with this, but you have to first understand yourself. We have the Fool and the Two of Wands, and here is this is the misunderstanding. This is where you don't really know what it is, and what to do with it. Like, what is your actionary plan? You don't really have a plan going forward, because I think you don't even really know that it's there, which, is kind of unfortunate. um I'm just seeing a call here to, oh, well, you know what? I kind of feel like it's related to a relationship. Two of Cups here, Six of Wands in reverse, Two of Cups, all of this is in reverse. The Two of Cups, Six of Wands, this is a relationship, and then the Six of Wands is like external validation, external, the homecoming, where everybody recognizes you for a job well done. And I feel like there was a relationship in which maybe didn't go the way that it you wanted it to go. It probably didn't, it didn't manifest into what you wanted it to. And there may have been some a situation in which there was a little bit of, I don't want to, a manipulation. That's kind of what I'm getting here, and I feel like that situation is something that you hid deep within yourself. I think that situation made you feel some kind of way, and you held on to that, and you tried to hide it away, but the thing is you still held on to it, so it's still a part of you. Even though that person did what they did, or the relationship turned out the way that it did, and certain things happened to you and you felt a certain way about it, and it made you feel less than, and so you bundled it up and you shoved it down as deep as it would go, and you thought that it left. You thought that you didn't have to deal with it anymore. But it's still there. It's still a part of you. It's still bundled up deep down inside, and you're still carrying it with you. And so what I'm seeing is that it's time for it to come out. Um Positive card I see here is the World and the Ace of Cups. um what I'm getting from this is that it's time for you to release these emotions that you've bottled up. It's time for you to pull it out of the depths and bring it up into the ether, kind of even it out, get it out from the doldrums, you know, that dark cave that it's in. Bring it up into the air and give it some new life, give it some oxygen, let it breathe, let it spread out so it's not so condensed. Now, letting something out like that, something as dense and as heavy as what it is that you've really sunk deep into the abyss, um it's not going to come out easily, and there's going to be some hard things that you're going to have to work with, but you're going to feel much better in the end. Now, during the throes of it, you know, this is some shadow work here. During the throes of it, it's going to be difficult and it's going to be hard, and there's going to be trial and error, there's going to be mistakes, and there's going to be some losses. But in the end, you're going to be better for it. I see we have the new world, which is a new birth, a new beginning, a new way of seeing things. And I see this card here, the Ace of Cups. Look at all that emotion that's being released. If we can get that to focus. There we go. I mean, just look at this emotional card. The way the water is just, it's crescenting. Is that a word? Like the moon. You know, it's a crescent, and it's alive, it's vibrant, it's not so heavy of what it is, of what has been buried over here. So I really feel assistance with access. The first part of what we read is that this card is about knowing who you are, knowing what it is that you have, that knowing what it is that you're capable of. The second part is, of course, being able to ask for the help. But before we get to that portion, you've got to visit these depths. You've got to visit the depths and figure out what happened in this relationship, face what happened to you in this relationship, and release it. Let it go. And you don't need to carry it as baggage anymore. You really don't. And yes, that's what I have for you, Sagittarius. That is another deep, wonderful reading, I think, is and you know, you might even feel that you don't even know what's wrong, but you feel like something is not right. You don't know what the issue is. You don't know why it is you know, can't be happy, why it is you can't feel joyful, why you are envious of other people. You know, these deep seated, deep rooted things manifest in many different ways, and the biggest way to know that something is wrong is you just feel like something's not right. Okay. And it's very subtle things. It's like I said, you can't be happy for someone else. You can't find joy in anything. You don't really feel like you want to, you know, go outside or work out. You know, you're just you're content scrolling on your phone, but you're not really content because you don't feel fulfilled. And that's how you know that something's not right. And so at that point in time, it's time to visit the abyss. It's time to go down deep and see what it is that needs to be healed. In my own healing, I had no idea what it was. I just knew that I wasn't happy. I knew that I wasn't fulfilled. I knew that something just wasn't right. And so I just started working with the moon. I started working more heavily with my cards, and just reading for myself was super helpful because it gave me something to it gave me a starting point, right? If I would have had a reading like this, I would have been like, okay, I would have visited this situation here, a relationship in which that I wasn't feeling validated, and in which didn't get off on the right foot or didn't go the way that I wanted to. Then I you know, you would dissect that relationship. What happened? What is it that I'm holding on to? What is it that I can't move forward from? And then from there it just kind of opens up, and then things are going to start, just like bubbles, they're going to start to surface, and you'll deal with them as they come. But the best thing is to be aware of it, to know that something is not right. And then that's when change can happen. That's when change enacts. That's when you know that you're going to have to do something different. And like I said, oh my goodness. That happened in my other reading too. Geez, my phone rang and it was a spam person. Um, sorry about that. So, and you know, and that's kind of it. Yeah, I just doing the shadow work is, it's not easy, but it's not the hardest thing in the world. And some people, you know, would just rather go through life and accepting that life is just not going to be happy. You know, life is just going to suck because life just sucks. But other people aren't willing to accept that. And, you know, decide which person you are. If you're okay with not finding joy in stuff and you're okay with that, you know, more power to you. Go ahead. Just stay the way that you are and, you know, be happy. Be happy not being happy. But if you're the type of person who wants to improve, then you're going to have to go through this journey, go through the shadow work. So that's what I have for you, Sagittarius. Thank you so much for your time. I certainly appreciate it. And if you know anybody who can benefit from this reading, please share. The person does not need to be Sagittarius because every one of us have every single one of the signs in our charts by way of the house system. So, so this reading can benefit anyone. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe if you haven't. And on that note, I will see you guys next video. Take care.